All right, welcome, guys, to another Sunday CBD with yours truly, Terror Trades, and we also have Trades by Drew as well. So, as customary, as what we usually do is I would break down XAU USD, and he would break down the US 30 charts. So let's get into it. So now this is the 5 minute time frame. Let's go on a higher time frame. All right, let's start off with the monthly. See what's going on. All right, but with only 2 days left, well, 3 days basically, with this daily candle, which this daily candle, which just began. We have 2 days and 21 hours left in this monthly candle right now. We have a whole bunch, well, not a whole bunch, it's basically a big bullish candle, right? But a whole bunch of bullish pressure to the upside, indicating strong buys as well. So just going along with the flow, and we can notice where the previous candle closed out with minimal wick rejection from the top side, indicating that we're strong bullish. All right, let's drop down to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame so far, we can notice a bit of retracement until this week closes, which we have a bunch of time because the week had just started. Then we would know if this is a minor resistance being formed. And bear in mind that we're also at the all-time highs. So if we get a rejection from this area and a candle close, then basically it's a valid level of resistance. And on the lower time frame, it can be classified as a retracement in order to wait for the market to form a support to continue with the buys. So if it doesn't break past this level, which was the last level of support, and even so, that's still not even valid for you to say a sales body right here, but we can still catch short-term sales all the way down, right? So dropping down now to the daily, and if you can notice too as well, I have a whole bunch of bullish candles, right, leading up to this point where we're getting a bit of retracement as the daily open, which is just 3 hours, which is not that bad, right? So now, dropping down to the daily time frame, we can see the retracement a bit sooner, a bit clearer, let me say. So we can see the retracement a bit clearer, right? If we have maybe an engulfing, then that would be, well, for this daily candle, and that would be clear signs that the market is retracing a bit to where we can target a level of support to buy the market from. But looking good so far. Over these past few days, strong bullish pressure. Whole last week, strong bullish pressure. All right, leading up to here. This was, if we're supposed to take a measurement of this right here. Let's see. This entire push from that leg of the support is 3,644 pips, which is quite a lot in such a short space of time. Right? Whole lot of moves I capitalized. I hope you guys did too as well. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the last Sunday of the year. All right. But so it's next year until next until the next meeting. Just a quick fun fact. But let's drop down to the 4 hour time frame. All right. What can we notice? All right. All we notice is major higher low points being formed. We're yet to break anything. Right. So we're still looking for bullish type move. Yeah, so we're still looking for a bullish type move throughout all of this. If we're supposed to draw a fib, well, this is the 4 hour time frame. I'm gonna draw it on a lower time frame. But this is a level of resistance in which the market broke. came back down. If you notice right now, it retested that area of resistance on the 4 hour time frame. However, we might see a cleaner move on the 1 hour time frame. All right, up and down. All right, let's draw our fib. Most recent low, all the way up here. Matter of fact, that's a bit too low. Hmm. Level of resistance, level of support. All right, so this is the push basically. Right, market opened and gave us this big spike from the downside, indicating bullish pressure. Right, prior to open, formed a level of support within this point right here. However, this big sell off right here, so I was expecting the sell off to stop right here on the most recent level of support, but can't really predict the market. But for now, it's just a waiting game because the market can also retest um this level of support, or maybe we can have something like this back down to the 61.8 level before continuing the overall move. But for now, it's just the waiting game basically to see what's happening with the market. Let me try to fit better. It's just the waiting game to see what happens, right? Because we can have this minor level of support be respected to continue the overall trend, right? But we're still strong bullish, but we did get volatility spikes where the market was spiking in both directions, both from the downside and from the upside. So what we can hope for is a tap into this recent level of support, to continue overall. Might be a lot. Stop loss might be a bit big. I'd say this is 160 pips, but we want to basically cover the low, right? But let's watch it to see what happens because this is the 30-minute time frame. And let me see if it drop. Yeah, so this overall candle closes in 12 minutes. So basically it has a lot of bullish rejection. So I'm not expecting the market to buy off um directly after this candle with it looking like this. I'm expecting a pullback down into this area, maybe even down in here to top the SMA, right, to continue to the upside, or maybe even the 100%. But it's just waiting and watching to see what it does right now. And yeah, this is a valid level of support. However, it's just on a lower time frame, right? But yeah, that's it for me right now. Let's see what happens. Let's just watch it basically. Yeah. All right. At this time, I'll hand it over to my colleague, Trades by Drew. Let me just stop sharing the screen. All right. Give me 1 second. Yep. All right. Then Oh wait, bro. Wait. No, the audio. The chart's been moving, but the audio. All right. You can talk now. Oh wait, all right, wait, bro. Wait, let me see. Still not here. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna know I'm not here. Yeah.
All right.
All
Okay.
right, talk now?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, it's here now.
All right. So,
Can start over.
all right. So, boom. US 30, right? So, for the past year or year and a half, we've been pretty much bullish on US 30, right? So, we're just focusing mainly on buys. There's a lot of selling opportunities being presented, but our main focus is the buys. So, last week I pointed out that okay, the market created a level of support here on the daily time frame by us identifying that okay, we had a morning star formation being created here around December 19th, Friday. That was week before last week, Friday. And I was expecting the continuation of that by an opportunity, right? So looking here on the daily time frame, I can mark off a couple areas of interest that we might potentially have some reactions from. So our first area of interest would be at that resistance area. We can also plot ourselves back the institutional areas of interest, like the 47,500 area, right? And 49,000 and also the 48,000. So let me confirm this. 48,000 area interest. Boom. And also the 49,000. So these are the closest institutional areas at this point in time. So I don't need to put any more on my chart, seeing that the market is close to these. But let me put the 48.5 as well. So, as we can see, the market is buying. If I should break this down on my lower time frames, we can see that okay, the market was on a retracement. We were creating lower highs and lower lows on the 1 hour time frame. These type of patterns eventually cause the daily time frame to have that retracement. As we can see here, we had a higher high point. This was an all-time high area of resistance as well that was created. The market started that retracement. We created that support area around our 48,000 institutional area interest. We also had a area of exhaustion being respected on the daily time frame. So that can be our next zone that we can basically plot on the chart to say, all right, if the market comes back down to this zone, this is a valid area to buy from, right? So now on the 1 hour time frame, I saw last week, because I don't know if you all remember, but I said that this would be the area of interest that we would be interested to buy the market from come NY open. As you can see, the market came down, tapped in the area 6 o'clock Monday, December 22 and started the buy. We also broke above this area of resistance, created a high, came back down, created a higher low. Let me go down on a lower time frame because the 30-minute time frame shows this entire area a little bit cleaner. So we'll just use that as our area of, or use this time frame as a time frame to break down these trade setups. So boom, we had the market coming back, tapping into that area, giving us a nice engulfing variation. That could have been an entry opportunity there. Stop loss could be below here. Take profit, you know, we always target back our institutional areas. So that could have been a TP1. Boom. The market came back here, tapped into the SMA areas. Let's see how that looks on a 5-minute time frame. Boom, this happened fairly quickly. So look in here, let me see how this look on the 1 minute. So boom, market came here. Yes, so we came here, broke a level of resistance. So this is basically a break and retest type entry, right? So we have a resistance, a high, a higher low, boom. As we created that higher low point entry, we can even target back that institutional area interest for a 238 point move. That's decent bread right there. This trade happened fairly quickly as well. As you can see, we had an area of resistance here being respected. Just draw ourselves a zone right there. Market was consolidating along this area interest for, let's see, let's see, 16 hours until it gained the momentum around NY session to continue that push. So probably an entry that could have been taken around this area was when the market tapped back into that area after breaking this level of resistance here, right? And we had nice rejections from that area. So an entry here would be good, or we could have waited on the retest of that SMA. Stop loss would be below the low here. Now, let's see. Seeing that the institutional area interest is very close, we'd like to probably target back these areas of exhaustion up here. Boom, right there. So that was a potential trade opportunity. And this trade played out in about 3 hours. So it was pretty simple textbook setup. Right. So now for this week, as Terro Trade said, we have like 2.5, 3 days left within the month of December. We're going into a new year, so I'm still expecting bullish type moves going into the new year, but we have to be very mindful that, okay, a lot of things can happen that will cause the market to spike. So we have to just probably sit on our hands a little and wait until the festivities pass, like New Year's and stuff, because as you know, the market will be closed on New Year's Day, and that will be on Thursday. So I don't think that there will be a lot of volume inside the market until New Year's, but we will see. So my prediction for US30 is for us to create a new all-time high, seeing that we're already on this move. Now, what can happen is probably we create a resistance here as we're doing right now. Probably have a little retracement back down to these SMA areas. Probably respect these minor areas of exhaustion on the 4 hour, like these areas here, right? Creating support around these areas to continue buying. That's a possibility. Or we can just come back down to this minor area here and continue buying. But looking at this and knowing US30, I think that we will probably have that retracement, seeing that we haven't really continued on that push and we're seeing a lot of buyers exhaustion. So we had 1, We had a doji here with a lot of buyers exhaustion. We have a lot more buyers exhaustion here, and we're seeing some buyers exhaustion in this side, this candlestick as well. So that is telling me that the market is struggling around this area. Also on seeing too much data, let me go on the 15. Also on the 15 minute, let me go on the 30. So on the 30 minute, we created a higher high here. All of this I just consider as a retracement, to be honest. I just like to cancel out the noise because we don't want to really consider this a valid higher low point. Yes, it is a higher low point, but it isn't anything too substantial right now. As you can see, the market came here and created that true higher low around the SMA areas, right? So that would be our higher low. The market came here and did what? Created a lower high. As you can see, we're lower than this high right here. So that alone is telling me that probably the market doesn't want to push any higher at this point in time. Probably we're going to have that retracement back down to an area of support to then continue. But until then, I have to just wait until that data is presented to me to then make my decisions of that. So, boom, we have this area here. We have that area of resistance that the market is currently at. So right now, US 30, I don't think there's a trade setup. Right now. We'll have to just wait until NY session to really see what's going to happen. But my thoughts on this, I think that we're going to have that retracement. Right? That's my bias for now. Until I see something different, I think that we'll have that retracement. And also looking on the daily, we are kind of having some rejections. We had a doji candlestick that is showing us that, okay, there's not a lot of momentum when it comes down to the direction. So we were bullish and we were bearish. We were basically consolidating. We opened 6 o'clock, spiked up and starting to push down. So I'm expecting a resistance to be created. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, I'll just, see what kind of trading opportunities I can get out of that. But looking here, I like to see it probably pull back down to this area. So this area here at the 48,600, that would be my first area of interest. So I can go ahead and set myself an alert around that area. That would be my first area of interest. I would like to see how the market reacts around that area and then make my decision come NY session. So that is it for me. And I wish you all the best for the new year and a happy new year when it comes. I'll hand it back over to Terro Trades.
Yeah, guys. So basically, that's it. Thanks for joining again. Happy New Year when it comes, and Merry Christmas if I did miss to say that. All right. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your year. Hope you guys can make some money within the last week. Not hoping on a bunch of volume, but let's see what the market has. All right. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy the rest.